AD's doing 99.9% of my non-QM business.
But we wanted to talk to, the superstars. You topped the list, 143,000 points.
And he's like, and you have a massive amount of points that you haven't been using. We just did one for an elderly lady. I said, hey, I've got these loyalty points based on my performance, and I'm going to waive the underwriting fee, $15.95. And she got the home of her dream.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to AD Mortgage Insights, where our goal is to help our partners identify resources and tools to help them win more deals. I'm Jerry Byers, Senior Content Manager for AD Mortgage. Today, I'm meeting with Sam Gabay of Merit Lending in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sam's going to share with us his background, how he got started with AD Mortgage, and also how he leverages his AD Mortgage loyalty program points to benefit him and close more deals. Sam has created a positive cycle where he closes deals, then he earns points through the AD Vantage loyalty program, which he then uses to close more deals and earn more points. Sam was kind enough to take some time to share with us some of his strategies and some of his background. So let's get started. Sam, how you doing?
How are you, my friend?
Good. I can hear you well, so that's
Perfect. Just got a new computer, so had to set it all up again.
I'm always a little nervous about these things because I'm always afraid I'm going to click on the wrong thing, and then my video producer is going to be all unhappy with me because it's difficult enough to get the lighting right for them because I have to do this at home. And anyways, it's great to meet you, and thanks again for
you too. I'm impressed you guys have producers and all that stuff, and you guys are really going for it.
We have some really, really high quality people who work for us. I've only been with the company about 5 or 6 months now, and I was extremely impressed with the talent level of the people. We still have the growing pains because, we have had the major acquisition, and we're growing fast, and the scalability is a challenge without a doubt. So, we're still finding our stride, so to speak, on some things, but we do have really good people.
Yeah, you guys are definitely growing fast. But those growing pains will continue because, I think there's just so much more. You guys are doing great, and I just think you're just going to keep growing. I think you guys are.
That seems to be the trend, and we did. I've been doing a lot of research on our history because it's our 20th anniversary. So we're doing some things for the 20 years. And just looking back at the 2008 crisis, the company is only 3 years old. And I looked how resilient and adaptable Max and Lana were and really getting the company through that. Not just.
I didn't realize you guys were around back then.
It's amazing. It was still small, but while a lot of companies were folding, we came out of that really strong. And
wow.
And so that's, I guess that's a testament to Max's leadership. But
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's
definitely a skill to be able to scale a business like that. It takes a lot of people to make it work, you know what I mean? But you definitely need like a strong leader to be able to scale it to that size for sure.
Absolutely. And to keep the culture intact when, it's a higher turnover business, of course, and to be able to maintain a culture. So yeah, all that aside, I've been pretty impressed. My wife's worked for the company for a few years, and then she's like, you should just come work for us. And so they pulled me into marketing, doing content, and
nice.
And so now I got roped into some of these cool things that we're doing. We have so many great innovations, and this is just one of them. This our AD Vantage loyalty program, and so it just turned 1 year. And we thought that we would try to do something special to talk about it. We're approaching 5,000 members now. and we're pretty excited about that. And so we're gonna interview the gal who runs the whole show. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. Her name's Elle Klepfer, and she does an amazing job. But we wanted to talk to the superstars that are really taking advantage of it, and you topped the list. Looked at some numbers, 143,000 points in our loyalty system.
I'll look the right now because I've been using them, but I did a bunch of deals this month, so I think I got probably 20, 30,000 on the way or something. Who knows?
No, that's absolutely fantastic. So, all right, so let's talk about through these questions a little, and then I'll pick your brain a little if you have a little bit of time afterwards. But tell us a little bit about your company, the location, your background.
Yeah, so I work with Merit Lending. We're one of the top brokerages here in Las Vegas, in Nevada, actually. We've got about, I would say, 25 to 30 LOs working for the company. Company's been around for about 20 years. My background is actually from the auto industry. I was in the auto industry for 20 years. And I was, a big part of that is credit, obviously. So I was steeped in auto credit, not too much in mortgage credit. But I started to, after about 20 years looking for, something else to do. So actually one of the marketing reps for one of the banks in auto credit became a mortgage broker. And I started to watch him succeed. And I've thought to myself, I think I can do that. So in 2018, I got my mortgage broker license, and I was actually doing both at the same time for just a minute, just to transition. And, within just a couple of months, I was just out of the auto industry after 20 years and into the mortgage industry. And just a different mentality, coming from subprime credit and, really having to work hard to do my business and get my leads. I just applied that sort of attitude to the mortgage business, and it just grew from there. So a lot of mortgage brokers, tend to stick to the traditional government type stuff, conventional FHA, VA. But coming from the auto industry, we worked with a lot of, challenging cases. So I really didn't shy away from the non-QM stuff. And now a big part of my business is non-QM. Actually, probably more than half. I would say I'm about 65, 35, more towards non-QM. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's impressive then. So how long have you been working with A&D Mortgage?
So A&D, so I went to a NAM show, which is like a convention they have here in Vegas, about 3 years ago. And I met Renzo, actually. And I don't know if he remembers our meeting because, I went to this show and all the lenders are there. And AD had the most booths and the biggest booths. And I had never even heard of AD before. And there's a lot of condo business we do here in Las Vegas, and a lot of it's non-warrantable. So I went up and I was getting a lot of that business, and I needed a good home for it. So I went up to just a random person at the convention, and it happened to be Renzo, my AE. And I asked him if he can do condos, and he said, yes, we can do it on an exception basis. And I got his business card, and he kind of sat on my desk for a few months, and he was calling me, regularly, and, you're busy, and AEs call you, and you just kind of, but eventually I got a refi deal, and I was like, hey, this Renzo guy keeps calling me, and I remember him from that show. So I'm going to give him a shot. And so we did, and it worked out. And then we gave him another one. And, now AD's doing 99.9% of my non-QM business. And it's been a great partnership. I get along really well with Renzo. We seem to really work well together. We navigate through problems in a pragmatic way, and we get them done. So it's really been a great relationship.
No, that's a fantastic story, and I really appreciate you sharing it. And Renzo does a great job. Just a likable guy in general. So, all right. So let's talk about the AD Vantage loyalty program a little bit. What features do you like best about the program?
So there's 4 that I use a lot. Okay, the 3-day lock extension, I use that one. The Waive the appraisal, I'll use that one. The Waive the underwriting fee, that's a huge one. And I've got some good stories about that one. I've been using that one a lot lately because the underwriting fee is like $15.95 on a non-QM deal. So that's a massive saving for a client. So that's a really big one. And then sometimes when I have like a really rush closing, I'll use like the push your closing for the same day. So those are the 4 that I use primarily. But it's really funny because like Renzo told me about this program about a year ago. And, it was just there and I had these points and I didn't really pay much attention to it. For a while, for months and months, I just, okay, sure, you have a loyalty program. Just probably like most LOs who are using AD, it's there, they have points, but they ignore it. And the points just kept accumulating. And then I had a massive amount of points. One day I think it was a lock extension. And he was like, well, why don't you use your points? So I started to cruise through that menu. And it's like, wow, look at all this stuff that's here. You know what I mean? And he's like, and you have a massive amount of points that you haven't been using. And so it just started from there. But it took months for me to, and it wasn't, Renzo was telling me about it, but I just wasn't paying attention. And once I finally did, it's really been an amazing program. And we just actually met one of the executives here in Las Vegas from AD and with the owner of my company. And I was, bragging about the loyalty program to the owner, and he was quite impressed by it as well. But the biggest ones, I think the most benefit, like the lock extension is beneficial for us. Pushing the closing is something that we like. But the biggest ones for the clients, I think, are the waiving the appraisal, and the biggest one is the waiving the underwriting fee. I think that one's just huge.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a huge savings. So that's awesome. So, any interesting stories, special experiences with utilizing?
I mean, we just did one. We just did one for an elderly lady who she was buying a new apartment in like a senior community, and she already owned an apartment in that community. She's moving to a new one because it had a better view. So her apartment was for sale but not sold yet. So in order for her to buy this new apartment, she was really scraping resources together, and we were down to like, she barely had like within a couple of $100 enough money for the down payment and to close. Okay. And she scraped everywhere. She, all her retirement, like everything she had to make this happen while her current primary sells. But we were just a little bit shy on the debt to income. So I had to call her and tell her we needed to pay off her American Express to make the deal work. And she didn't have it. And it was about $1,500. We were that close, right? And then the light just went on and I was like, hey, you know what? And I explained it to her. I said, hey, I've got these loyalty points based on my performance, and I'm going to waive the underwriting fee, $15.95. And because of that, we now had enough cash to close because we were able to eliminate that fee and close the deal. And she got the home of her dreams. So that would just happen like within 60 days.
That's fantastic. That's a great story. Couldn't ask too much better. So that's awesome. And did she actually sell the old one already?
Yeah, she did. She did sell the old one. So now she's back in the game. She's doing great now. But it was just a moment of where she was going to be a little tight because she really wanted this place that was just above hers that had just come for sale, and it had a view and all that stuff. So
no, that's cool. I mean, because so many times in our lives we get to that, I don't know, it's like the edge of the fulcrum. If we could just get a couple more inches to get to the next level. And so I'm really glad to see that.
And sometimes people don't anticipate the closing costs, right? So they know they've got enough money for the down payment, but the closing costs are a little bit more. And, we were right there with the resources she had. So that underwriting fee, waiving that underwriting fee with the loyalty points really made a big difference. And I want to stress to LOs, like, it's important to explain to your borrower what you're doing so that they appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because it's to them, there's like all these fees on your closing statement. But when you can take a $1,600 fee away, you got to explain to them, hey, listen, I've got these points and I've been saving them for a long time and I'm going to use them for you. You know what I mean? It really makes you look good as an LO, right?
Well, and I am sure that, buys some loyalty too. Certainly if she's got a granddaughter or whatever, and they're looking to buy something, then, she's going to say,
Oh, absolutely.
I got a guy named Sam. And let me tell you.
She's super happy with us. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, oh no, that's a great story. So, you mentioned Redzo already, but, anything, anything that you think that other LOs should know, just because you've used the loyalty program so much, that any other tidbits you'd like to share?
Well, like I said, pay attention to it. You've probably got a bunch of points and they're just sitting there and you're ignoring it. Use it. You know what I mean? It's right there in the top menu on the right. It's really easy to redeem them. Works really fast. You're going to save your borrower a bunch of money. You're going to look like a star. You know what I mean? That's as far as the loyalty points program goes. But as far as AD goes, I mean, not too many companies out there in the mortgage industry are focusing on the broker experience. Most of them just want your loans and that's it. And it's kind of a grind to get your loan through. But AD is really focusing on the broker experience. The underwriters are accessible. They don't mind when you call them. Your conditions are easily found. You can email about conditions you don't agree with and you get a response. So, I mean, just the whole thing is working out. And it takes a lot of the stress out of doing your loans. And then you've got the loyalty program, which definitely helps move your loans along as well. There's probably more features in there that I haven't even messed with yet. I've just mentioned the 4 that I really like. But yeah, you use it. Basically.
No, that's great. And, I have to tell you, so I don't have a mortgage history background and marketing background, but not mortgage history. I'm really surprised to hear that that's the approach that some companies take, because our entire approach is MLO-centric. I mean, it is, how do we provide value today for our MLOs and make their experience better so that we're an attractive lender to them? And that, I mean, all the new programs, everything is...
Well, that makes all the difference. And rates are great at AD. Okay, but let's say, for example, you had a rate at AD and, it's 1/8 of a point cheaper somewhere else, which doesn't happen very often. And I've even stopped looking just because I know what I'm going to get at AD. But let's say that happens, okay? But you're going to get this experience at AD, which is going to be smooth and stress-free. And that translates to your borrower as well. Or you're going to go through hell over here to save 1/8 of a point. You're going to stop doing that eventually. Your deal might not even close over there. So
that's it. So that is music to our ears, let me tell you, because that's, that's the goal is, and we want to be competitive on price, as I understand it. We got to have to make these decisions. We want to be competitive.
I'm using that as an example, but you guys are great on price. Yet also the underwriters are trying to make it work, right. I get calls from underwriters. I just had one right before this, walking me through a deal and looking for ways to make it work. So,
but
like companies don't even want to talk to you. Well, most companies, the underwriters untouchable, you can't even call them. So that makes a big difference for us.
Yeah, well, and that's good, because that's what we're aiming for is, like I said, to develop relationships so that the experience is something you go back for, because it's gonna be competitive. And you gave the best illustration ever. It's 1/8 of a point versus the frustration of all the hassles, and and that's the goal. Excuse me. Off topic just for a second, because I think we've covered tons on the AD loyalty program. What are your thoughts on the AIM portal in general? So the automation tools that we've added, things like that. And this is not part of the the interview or whatnot. I'm just curious.
I like it. I was part of the pilot program in the beginning. In the beginning, I was a little resistant, as most people are, because they get used to what they already had, right? So we were part of the pilot. So I had some input on some of that stuff. I think there was just an update recently again, like the appraisal is now directly tied to the deal. Look, I think it's super easy. It's click and here you go. Everything's all right there. I can't remember the last time I called my AE because I had a problem with the portal ever.
Yeah. So that's definitely what we like to hear.
All your conditions are right there. You want to lock, you want to extend, you want to look at your appraisal, you want to see your exception. It's all there.
Yep.
You want to find your documents. Sometimes you need documents after the deal, right? Or you want to go back and look at a deal that you did 6 months ago, and if you can, it's all there. So that's really great.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. Well, and it's good that you're getting good use out of it because, like I said, we spend a lot of energy and time making sure that it's user friendly, and that's really the key. I mean, what's the point of AI and all the automation and innovation if it's not making our jobs easier? And that's really the goal. It's like you said, I can just click, and that's excellent. So
It's all right there.
best endorsement I could have hoped to have, to be honest with you. So that's great. So, all right. So you have NAMP coming up. These are just off topic, but I just want to get your feeling. You say you have NAMP coming up. You have the MBA thing coming up in Vegas also. I believe Max might even speak at that one, president of A&D. But you guys get a lot of shows. We just did a recent, I think it was an OCN event there. Do you attend those?
Not all, but I do go to the NAM show. I like that one. I didn't go to the show, the one that just happened here, but I went and met some of your executives.
Okay.
So I'll go to some. NAMS is one I really like. All the lenders are laid out right there, and you can kind of find out what people are doing. And I think the AEs like it too, because they go from booth, like my AE Renzo, he's a pretty pragmatic guy. So he'll go from booth to booth and find out what other lenders are doing and bring that back to AD. So for that reason, I like that show. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good because we promote these too, and this is something we do in the marketing department, especially is we have a really cool events team that really plans these things out. We're everywhere, all over the country. We've got 4 or 5 shows a month. And have you met Mike Pearson by any chance? He goes out to Vegas pretty often.
I haven't. I haven't. No, okay. I just met Mark, which is the manager of our team.
Okay.
He was a great guy. I'd love to meet everybody. I'd love to meet Max. I'd love to.
Okay. Well, and I can't make any promises here, but let me show one of the things. So we built this fabulous office in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, it's beautiful. We do meetings.
If I'd like to go out there too one day.
Yeah. So I'm going to see what we can do to get you and a pal out to the new office sometime. And
I'd probably take the owner, Kelly.
Okay. So so let me talk to my boss and whatnot. We have some events coming up, and I think MBA is actually going to be doing an event at our offices sometime later this year. And let me find out what we can do. But let's see if we can't get you out there just to see it, meet some of the people.
Sure.
And that would be kind of a cool experience for everybody. And of course, while you're there, we're going to throw you in front of a camera again. Hope you don't mind. But again, no promises because I don't hold the purse strings, but
whenever it happens.
I do get to throw the ideas around there. And when they're good ones, they usually bite, especially when it comes to our brokers, MLOs. So that's a big deal. All right, great. Well, any questions for me or in general that maybe I can, even I don't know.
This was great. My only thing is I forgot to turn off my Outlook, and I heard some emails coming through. I hope that doesn't mess up the video.
It's, these things happen.
But I'm a busy LO, so the emails are just coming in. What can I say?
Well, that's good. That's good. Let's hope it's new business. But
if you guys need to do it again, I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool. Well, you're going to Mexico, right? So you're going to go down there.
You can have a tree in the background, but that's all right. We can still do it.
Okay. So, I mean, you just toast your margarita glass and, but where are you going to Mexico? Just out of curiosity.
Puerto Vallarta.
Okay. Vallarta. Okay. I grew up in San Diego. So I used to go down to Ensenada quite a bit, and mostly on the west coast of Mexico. So that's why I was curious.
Yeah. Never been to Puerto Vallarta. Been to Ensenada, been to Cabo, but this will be a new one.
Okay.
Getting in the mother-in-law and the mom. So,
okay. That'll be fun. Good time of year to go too. It's not too hot now. It calms down just a little bit. come late August and early September.
We're too much. We're from Vegas, so we're.
Yeah, well, I mean, gosh, that's and and that's never changed. You excited about the A's coming? I mean, you got the
They're ready. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. Yep. So they've launched round already. I think they just secured their funding, so that thing should be going up soon.
No, that's a really cool deal. I mean, I've been going to Vegas since I was a kid. My parents are junkies for it. But we go to Circus. I'll tell you how old I am. So I think it closed down.
But you got to come to one of these shows then.
It's on my list. It is definitely on my list of things to do. They keep me pretty busy here, but I'd like to get out to meet with some of our people that are out there and just kind of share some experiences and kind of get a good grip on what they want, what they need, what they like, what they don't like, and those things. Our A's do a great job of that for us at these events. That's why I asked if you go, because we take feedback from those. Not only do we collect business cards, we really do focus on, okay, these are the things that people are saying, and what can we do to solve those problems? Sure. And here's the things they like, and the things they like are the things that I write about or that we do videos about or whatever. And so, I mean, we're very proactive about it. But maybe I'd get myself out there. It'd be nice, and I'd really enjoy it. But if I do get out to Vegas sometime soon, I will definitely shoot you a call. But
absolutely.
In the meantime, I will send you an email. I'm going to follow up on, see what we can do to get you to one of our events at the main office. And I'll get some feedback and let you know where that is. And then maybe I'll just pass it on to Renzo, and he can keep you updated on it. But I'm going to try to do that because I think it'd be an excellent experience for you, something to take back.
And I love that seafood out there in Fort Lauderdale. I just absolutely love it. So
do got some great food in Florida. So yeah, we love it. But have a fantastic vacation. I'll touch base with you in case all this turned to crap or something and we need to redo it. But I really appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. My friend, anytime, anything you need, I'm all for it. No problem. I don't mind the videos. I think they're fun.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks for your vacation. Be safe.
All right. See ya.
Thanks for joining us. Sam and Merit Lending aren't just closing deals. They're making an impact on people's lives. And it's really exciting to see how they're utilizing the 80 Advantage Loyalty Program to do that. It's great to see the vision of 80 Mortgage with borrowers, LOs, and AD as a lender working together to help people achieve the American dream. Are you leveraging your loyalty points? What do you like best about the 80 Advantage Loyalty Program? Let us know in the comments. Thanks Sam and Merit Lending for joining us. Find their contact information in the description below. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.